Morning kids, the Health Secretary Steven Barclay just had an argument with the BBC's Laura Kuenssberg about their election promise to build 40 new hospitals. And I'm sharing it with you because it gives some good examples as to how we get lied to by politicians and by news channels even when they're doing a good job. For starters, Laura Kuenssberg properly calls them out on the lie.
We're committed to 40 new hospitals by 2030.
That description includes new wings for some hospitals, refurbishments for others. It does include some new hospitals. You are not building 40 brand new hospitals, are you?
Well, it's in line with the announcement that was made in 2020.
That's
what the
not my
manifesto
question.
said was 40 new hospitals.
That's the first strategy. In order to avoid outright lying, they'll simply quote their own previous lies. For example, our manifesto says we'll build 40 new hospitals. And again, Laura Kuenssberg calls them out perfectly.
Because for a normal person, building a new wing or maybe refurbishing parts of a hospital, that is not a brand new hospital. If you save up and you get a new conservatory on the back of your house, you don't have a new house. So can you be honest with people? You're not building 40 brand new hospitals.
Strategy 2. Brag about some of the individual good things that you've been doing, even though they don't even come close to adding up to the promises that you've made.
Well, some of the schemes include, for example, a hospital being gutted and fully refurbished.
So the crux of his argument is that new hospitals includes renovations of hospitals and refurbishments of hospitals. Here's the problem with that. During the 2019 election, the Conservatives promised 40 new hospitals and 20 new upgrades, so they can't now pretend that 40 new hospitals includes upgrades. It is a matter of Conservative record that upgrades and new hospitals are not the same thing. Here's strategy 3.
So there's a range of things.
So
and
there's
that was
a range
debate,
of things.
That was
It's
a debate
not
that was
40 new hospitals.
That was a debate that was had in 2020.
You see what he did there? He's telling you that that's the debate that's behind us, that we've moved on. We already won our election on a promise to build 40 new hospitals, so why are you still asking me about it? And they do that with Brexit too, all the time. Anytime anyone questions them on the damage of Brexit, they say, that was a debate from 2016. We've moved on. Even though the Bank of England is saying that Brexit is currently taking £1,000 a year from every household in the UK. Or in this case, implying that the fact that the government was elected on a promise to build 40 new hospitals somehow has nothing to do with the NHS crisis that we're all seeing now. They literally think that if they lie successfully, they shouldn't be held to account for those lies. As for the next strategy, I don't even know what category to put it into. It's just weird.
Well, if it's a new wing, a new facility, a women and children's hospital, for example, as part of a wider campus, that is something, as a patient, you go in. What matters to you as a patient is whether the facilities are state-of-the-art, whether they're new.
He's saying that it's okay to say that they're building 40 new hospitals because even if they only refurbish a room within that hospital, if a patient is being treated inside that room, then everything that they can see is new. So from their perspective, it may as well be a brand new hospital. It reminds me of that old story about the 3 blind men that come across an elephant. One of them grabs the leg, thinks it's a tree. One of them grabs an ear, thinks it's a leaf. One of them grabs the trunk, thinks it's a snake. It's still a fucking elephant! You don't get to say you're building 40 new hospitals just because some patients might only see the new bits.
Do you believe in being really straight with our audience? You do. Right. So you've said there is a range of things, and you've just admitted there it's a range. So why keep repeating that you are building 40 brand new hospitals? You are not. That is spin with a capital S.
And what you just saw there is Laura Kuenssberg, and by extension the BBC, being journalists, grilling politicians on their manifesto policies. But A, this is 4 years too late. They already won their election on promises like that, got put in charge of the NHS during a pandemic, and delivered what the Parliament's inquiry found to be one of the worst public health failures in UK history, causing tens of thousands of deaths. B, where's that energy when it comes to Brexit? It's literally the title of the manifesto that this government was elected on. And I don't need to tell you about all the damage that Brexit is doing to our economy during a cost of living crisis. I've got other videos for that. But the title of their manifesto was Get Brexit Done, meaning that the central promise upon which the very existence of this government is based was to end the 3.5 years of chaos, negotiations and arguments linked to Brexit. And next month marks 3.5 years since the election. And again, putting aside the damage that Brexit is doing to millions of struggling families across the country, we have the car industry saying, renegotiate the Brexit deal or thousands of jobs will go. We have the government delaying the full implementation of Brexit border checks for a 4th time, this time until next year. So even though the existential promise of this government was to end the chaos of Brexit, they have mathematically doubled it. So you have to ask why some journalists are willing to tell us the truth on some things at some moments, but not others. Have a great week.